two men walk along the Whitehall corridors. They enter a large room. Inside sits the cabinet. The men walk up to the Prime Minister and say, "It's time, enact Project Nightshade." Project Nightshade, the depopulation of the United Kingdom and the implantation of the slaves that remain after the call. The Prime Minister picks up the phone and says, "Okay, Alpha Priority Order 1, enact Project Nightshade." The Home Secretary says with a smile, "Soon we shall be liberated from these damn paupers." The plan, the forced implantation and cull of the British people had begun.
"70 million souls oblivious to what's above, 1,000 suited foes, and for us not a resistor in sight. The plan is so bright that no one is inside when the Black Hawks are unleashed upon our own people's might." There's too many people on this world, according to the other side. 500 million is what they want, but 500 million is doomed for Earth. They implant the police, they create the death squads, they stop the food supply and ready their forces. For the people must go, for the rich to thrive. They need us not. What technology wrought, they deceive and manipulate. They hide their intent, and the masses sleep tight with but a few souls away. For the police it is doom, for they are the ones chosen by might to wage their own fight against the people our kin. But death is a sin when it's meant for your kin. So there's nothing to do but find what's taboo. And when you wake up, you'll be dead in a box. You'll be dead in a box.
The police were the first to get Nightshade. It was always the plan. The police will be death squads, forced to do sin. For that is the way of the establishment few. The politicians gathered in the bunkers and waited for doom. For the tale they weave is as sick as a sin.
The chiefs gathered at dawn, their orders known to none, for their orders are now for the doom of the law. When the law corrupts and also perverts, what do we do in return but sit on our bums while our country does burn? The orders were sent down, for the time had come, for the dark droids had known that this day would whence come. For the political few, it was too late to do boo, for the death squads had a new orders anew. The chiefs do not care for the following of law, for they are the ones who are untouchable by state. chosen by few and serving the many. The chiefs are now traitors to their kind and their kin. The orders were sent down, for the time had come, for the dark dreams had known that this day would whence come. For the political few, it was too late to do boo, for the death squads had a new orders anew. The police were implanted at the training camps already, part of the plan for the killing of Britain. The orders were carried out with justice, now dead as were the people, now were the expendable bed. The orders were sent down, for the time had come, for the dark dread had known that this day would whence come. For the political few, it was too late to do boo, for the death squads had a new orders anew. Now the orders were carried out by the police unabated, as Nightshade was no game, as everyone knew who waited. That device had put everyone in the establishment to sleep, a threat to the planet if Nightshade was rolled out, as no sleeping army can fight back if they're hacked. So the aliens will take back what their power could not, and damn our whole earth to an implanted alien few. The MP stopped the food and then sent out the police, for Britain had too many of her people not dead. A few was what they wanted, a few was what they'd get, for if the people fought back, then the few would be dead. For if the people fought back, then the few would be dead.
The government's orders to stop the food convoys throughout Britain caused chaos in most cities, but some had a community where people helped one another out. Glasgow was one such city, her people already awake thanks to whistles already blown, now prepared for the death squads to head north. Her streets were fortified, as were the surrounding villages. The orders from the government was carried out by the police. 1 week after the food stopped, the implanted police were sent out to the cities, towns, and villages of southern Britain. They would deal with the north later. In the Southlands, the police herded the survivors of the chaos into makeshift death camps where the selected were taken away to be implanted and the rest were given a lethal injection. The South was in chaos, and now the government targeted the northern cities, with Glasgow in particular, a target of need. Before they took the city, they had to take a fortress town southeast of Glasgow.
With the cities in chaos, the police with their orders came crashing out of their holding stations like lions unleashed. They stormed into the cities with death on their faces. They helped call the people, though some had survived the initial call. They hid, they fought, and they ran for their lives. And what they got was no resistance in sight, for only one city had read all of the signs. and prepared all her people for the fight of their lives. For surrender was death for her people. And Glasgow, near Glasgow, the police took a village so light and swept it clean as they killed all the blight and readied for Glasgow, so close to its doom. In Glasgow, the gangs had united and armed all the people who now were enlightened. They now readied for war, as the police already known had long been implanted with nightshade the disease. The stage was set for a battle that's necessary, as people must know that death is the issue. Implanted is death, so surrender is suicide. So no one in Glasgow would give up this fight.
When the food supplies stopped, the gangs knew they had to arm and warn the people. Then they would fortify the city and surroundings and ready for the coming battle. They spent days fortifying streets with burnt-out vans and buses. They created choke points and traps. Every trick learned in military training or on the streets was utilized as Glaswegians built the Citadel, a fortress designed to defend and repel the Borg death squads. Glasgow became the Citadel.
When they stopped the food convoys, we knew they were coming. So we prepared our families and friends and strangers alike to defend our people and way of life. To the streets we took, our people united, all differences set aside for the common foe that frightens, with guns and knives, sticks and stones, ready to defend our very homes. If they take this city, the North will fall. So we make our stand where the mighty shall quake. Glasgow is known as fierce and friendly, but tonight Glasgow is now known as revolutionary. Sectarianism, Glasgow's pain, was forgotten at last, as everyone united as one family of clans. The North would not fall if Glasgow stood tall. Then we can think of liberation for one and for all. So the Citadel was born, and into legend she went. Glasgow, the Citadel, fortress of might. What is your fate as the children sleep tight? To fight or die as one common unite.
The police death squads gathered in numbers outside of Glasgow. The people in the city knew they were there and waited for the fight. Finally, the orders came through. Glasgow was to be incinerated and wiped out. The Borg police officers reluctantly boarded the vans and headed for Glasgow.
The Citadel had her scouts in place. They saw the warning embrace. The police were coming now in numbers not seen since the miners' strike. The people had ready the defenses and war was now afoot. Now the battle commenced at the outskirts of town. The people put up a resistance, but the enemy was too many. The people retreated back to pre-range points of the city. For the defense of Glasgow was just begun. The death squads charged deeper into Glasgow, killing the old and infirm who had not time to retreat. The people saved many, but not all were gotten, though their names would be remembered as the martyrs of the North. The fighting raged on into the night, with many a death blow on either side. But the people were putting up a firm defense, and the Borg just couldn't get into their stride. At last the tide turned, the battle near through, as exhaustion and casualties bled the Borg squads deep. And the people charged back with the help of the gangs, as everyone united for the defense of the realm. Finally the pivotal point came, when the tide of war turned in the people's favor. The clans forced the police back out of the city. They fled like rats with their tails behind their legs. The culling of Glasgow was never going to happen, not when the people had united under the Citadel. The battler was over, the hard work was done. With the city in ruins now, the rebuilding had to be done. The North was secure, but the North was not safe. For if the Borg regrouped, the people would lose faith. So the High Command knew now what they had to do: liberate the South like the folk of the North. They'd have to head south to extinguish the threat. For if justice prevails, then the guilty will be judged great.
With the Borg assault on the Citadel repulsed the resistance of Glasgow, held a command meeting. The High Command explained the need to invade the South, and the people's resolve hardened. The resistance restored the Citadel's defenses and readied for the march south.
The Borg are gone, the Citadel stands tall. The people rejoice in their endeavor. So the resistance plan the next phase of the war. They will rebuild the defenses, then head south to battle more. For the Southlands are our heartlands, and her people our kin. We will liberate the many army of the North was quickly formed. All able-bodied men glad to volunteer, for this fight was now legendary, and heroes them all. If we liberate our lands, our folk will never fall. So the free army of the North took to the streets and headed south to do battle with Bards. And the English of the North rose up as we came, and together we forced the Board back south. So does Nightshade. The rebel fighter was known to all races, resistor of unjust governments, hero of the people, risking limb and life for the less well-off. So what motivates a man to become a rebel in the Western world? Is it tyranny or injustice, or the need for self-defense? The rebel stands firm, the rebel stands strong. The people look up to their heroes, fighting for their kin. One for all and all for one, as the immortal saying goes. But do any know what it means apart from the rebel's mind? The rebel fights for privacy and community, the privacy of the mind and a home free of fear. A technologic nightmare being unleashed must always be resisted, and thus the Western rebel is born. The rebel stands firm, the rebel stands strong. The people look up to their heroes, fighting for their kin. One for all and all for one, as the immortal saying goes. But do any know what it means apart from the rebel's mind? One for all and all for one, as the immortal saying goes. But do any know what it means apart from the rebel's mind? So what makes a rebel in the Western world? No man will sacrifice his children to a depopulated earth, or turn his lover into a porn star for dark druid life. So the Western rebel is born again with a mind to never give in, as the implant is surrender, and surrender's death. If a man's a man for all that, then what makes a policeman? Is it love of justice, helping people out, or ordering people about? A bit of all in every policeman, but none want death in their name. Unlike the dark druids or their sycophant politicians, justice means naught to men such as them. The plan was simple: implant the police with nightshade, then get the police to depopulate the nation. Simple, how could it fail? They conspired. Get the right police chiefs in place, and like dominoes they will fall. Utopia for the rich and dystopia for the workers. At what age do you retire? And is your retirement pay a heart attack? So the plan was put in place. The officers were unaware of the threat from their chiefs or the training camps. If you stay overnight, you wake with the implants, then you're a prisoner of the mind wherever you go. A slave police force is what the politicians want, and a depopulated land bereft of human contamination, rewilded by animals and cleared of human sheep. The plan was simple: the rich inherit the earth. Utopia for the rich and dystopia for the workers. At what age do you retire? And is your retirement pay a heart attack? Did Jesus not say that the meek would inherit the earth? Who are these politicians and bankers that they think the opposite of all the transcended masters and prophets of the earth? How will all of this end? Utopia for the rich and dystopia for the workers. At what age do you retire? And is your retirement pay a heart attack? So we resist the implantation of the police and hunt the dark druid bankers, and we inflict justice upon them, take their wealth and put them in tower blocks in inner city slums. See if they like the poverty they have inflicted on us all. So one of the Bard police, have empathy until the cold, and show them no love. Never turn your back on an implanted policeman unless the plan is suicide. stop the police getting the implant, as to do not is doom for us all, and a darkness so deep that none shall away.
Cheltenham housed GCHQ, that's Government Communication Headquarters. It was also where Nightshade was worked. The rebels knew if Cheltenham fell, then the police could be disarmed, and only the hardliners and extremists would remain. Then the liberation of Britain could finally be complete.
So the Free Army of the North marched south to Cheltenham, with every intent to destroy the bar guard and liberate the staff. We negotiate with the bosses of the security services, who for years have put up with numpties from above. The temporary boss of GCHQ is the Foreign Secretary, and the temporary boss of my five is the Home Secretary, both of whom are implanters and depopulators, traitors them both that have handicapped their forces with treasonous orders yet to be judged on. And when the people find out what came down from above, then the justice of the North shall inflict mayhem on our foes. When the Free Army reached Cheltenham, battle did ensue. The fog were as vicious as a rabid dog, but we did fight back with all our might. So when night did fall, so too did the fog, as Cheltenham was liberated and negotiations begun. The bosses of Cheltenham ordered the coal to halt it at once. It won't snub Britain, but the doctorates and the chiefs and politicians and bankers all had a plan for the complete destruction of all life in Britain. If they were not stopped, so the Free Army of the North, with the now friendly police, who had Nightshade disarmed on the orders of the director, but London still held firm. The hardliners were there, they would not give up without a final fight. The Free Army of the North then headed out again, this time to London for the final battle. For if London was taken, then Britain could heal, and then maybe we'll be out beyond our rights for old name.
The hardliners and the old guard held up in London town. The battle for Britain lost. Now the rebels were coming for them, and Cheltenham had fallen. Woe had begotten the other side, and desperation called for desperate times. They intended to nuke their own land and people by launching a nuclear attack on Russia, knowing full well that Moscow would launch back at our lands. Only the gods would know if the rebels could stop them in time.
Now the politicians and the dark dreeds held up in their bunkers, waiting for the final desperate act of plunder. If they were to fall, then so would all. So they put their plan in place to nuke the whole place. But the rebels did know of their insidious show and intended to stop them at all cost to ourselves. The rebels' force marched to London in haste, for time was running haste, for barter brace embrace. With no more to fight, only a handful of traitors did show, and were overwhelmed by their free northern foe. The rebels took London and looked for the bunkers where the old guard held deep, and find them they did, for it was just that they won. But the old guard didn't know that the button was blow the whole kingdom to snow. But before they would put the whole place to sleep, the rebels then breached the bunker's front doors, and they swarmed like lions anew to liberate their land and stop the call of our kind. So freedom did show, and the war was now won. The rebels did know that justice would find the right people in kind, and in jail the doctorates were put, with the politician few for crimes too shameful to be breathed in Britain. So the war of the apocalypse was fought and won in the streets and countrysides of our lands, and wage it we did like lions of pride. For our foe we vanquished, and we set our kind free.
Epilogue. Now that the resistance had won the war, the Army of the North had to head back home. The rebuilding of Glasgow and the rest of Britain had to begin. A new government was formed, not like the old, but a new form of governance. The chosen system was fair and involved a lottery government with aptitude testing to weed out the not-so-bright as well as the psychopath. A government run by the people for the people, so the past mistakes would never be repeated. A free press was formed, one trusted by the people, and once again the corrupt would be held to account. And finally Britain became Albion once more, and her people rejoiced in Albion's light.